yourself now, huh? Yeah. You only did this to yourself.
What's up, Brad? What's up, Freak? How you guys doing? First hour and a bit. Are you talking about my the clan meeting? It's not a big deal. I put a recording up. It's long. It's like 2.5 hours. Alright, only a few more multi-battles of that, and then we'll be caught up. And we are all done here. Let me turn off that. We did pretty good on Masteries overnight for Ugo. Oh! I wanted that. Go back. Rude? Ooh, this is awesome. I know, right, Icky? What's up, Mikolaj? This is huge. This is a massive. And what I love about this, I'm going to make a video on it later. What is going on? I really don't want to have to relog. What I love about it, though, is that it's not the, like the free login rewards. I feel like they're called progressive champs or something like that. But, so we're still going to get a free login legendary. Oh, so those shards aren't really in there, is what that's saying. Alright, that makes sense. It's just a glitch. I'm not going to relog, though. Ooh. Maybe pretty good. I don't know, but take a look. I guess it's kind of a waste on Stone Skin, right? Yeah, kind of a waste on Stone Skin. And High Elves got reaction gear. And Orcs got reaction gear. I don't know of any Orc that I'm using that would want that. Okay. Had to repeat the game to get, I was debating going the Mithrala Soul to use her as a cleanser. Thoughts for Shogun Baby? Yeah, I mean, no, she's exactly what you want out of a cleanser. She's a 3-turn cleanser. She's already built. The speeds you need for Shogun are pretty high, which means that you're gonna end up with a good like sometimes the speeds are low, right? When you build champions for clan boss, you may be building them slower than you want, but the speeds that you need to hit for a Shogun team are pretty high. So you'll end up with a high speed Mithrala, which is what you want. So as far as the need for a soul, I found something interesting from I was watching Boozer the other day, and he talked about the Mithrala blessing. You would consider probably Brimstone, and I originally said like maybe Polymorph, but he made a great point that she is going to resist a lot of potential debuffs and not proc Polymorph. Because she has such high resistance because of her accuracy feat, right? So, Brimstone is a really good option for her for some extra damage in different areas of the game. I don't know if there's anything else. I do think Harmonic Impulse might be decent if you're not running, like if you're running Mithrala in Hydra and not bringing like a Shamil or something. I would not. I don't think a soul on Mithrala is going to be as impactful as other as souls on other champions. All right, we'll open that stuff in a second. Let me finish my thought here. So, for example, Arbiter, a 5-6 star soul, that means even faster, right? You're strengthening that aura massively, and of course weakening the enemy's aura as well, right? So that's huge, right? Polymorph on your PvP champions that don't have high resistance, that's huge, right? That's going to be a potential way for you to steal a win that maybe you didn't deserve, something like that, right? For damage, being able to ignore defense with a high blessing, absolutely. But when it comes to like even Ugo with Miracle Heal is really good because you can restore destroyed max HP, which occurs in Hydra, which is where you use Ugo, right? So there's some value there. But when it comes to Mithrala and a blessing for her, because Polymorph is weaker on her, it does become interesting about what you would really want on her. She doesn't heal, so Miracle Heal isn't worth it. She's not really a damage dealer, at least not directly, so Phantom Touch, not so much worth it. Perhaps something like Temporal Chains, maybe. What's the other one? Life Harvest, maybe, but I don't know that that's necessarily all that great. You could do Emergency Heal so that her shield heals her, but I don't know that, you know, ideally you're bringing a healer when in any situation that you're using Mithrala. So I don't know that a Mithrala soul is worth all of the energy, all of the gems, all of the same resources that you would commit to a fusion. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Protected Smite is always great. Smite in general with her is good. She does place debuffs. So, actually, sorry, that has nothing to do with Smite. I don't know why I said that. But yeah, Smite is good on her. Very, very good on her. That's Brimstone. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's what I would go on her. If I had one of the souls. It's not going to be next week. If we ever get a soul for Ninja, that's a soul to go for. That would be one that if obviously I'm going to get Ninja now. That would be a soul that I would chase after hard. I guess what I'm saying is it's just because of the type of champion that Mithrala is. Because Mithrala is not a healer. She's not a direct damage, she's not a big damage dealer. Because she is more of a really just a cleanser, it kind of changes things a little bit for her soul value. Souls are great everywhere. There's definitely benefits to getting souls. Like you can get Brimstone. She can be your Brimstone champion, all that stuff. But I don't know that she is going to benefit from it the way a different type of champion would. Yeah, George, look, I'll show you right now. Maybe I won't. Alright, I need to relog. Let me do this. I'm just going to do it because I am locked out of everything right now on that account. I can't even access the shop on that account. So, I haven't relogged in like 2 days, so this is totally fine. We can get them as soon as 5 days from now. I already got the first pack of him, and I'm sure it's going to reset on reset. So it's probably going to go much quicker than that, too. I think it's pretty cool. You do, Squibble. We all do. Everybody's got a free 5-day ninja reward right now. The community is going nuts. I'm just getting logged in, and I'll bring my stuff back up. Yeah, this is so huge for everybody. I'm pumped. I'm excited. Why? Because Plarium decided to do something awesome for a change. So I have a theory. I have no confirmation, but I've often thought, okay, why would Plarium make Ninja a very limited champion? Like, why would you say, yes, like, we'll give you guys Ninja, and then um not let him be usable in the future? My guess is it's how they negotiated the deal with Ninja himself. And my guess is that they probably went to him and said, hey, we're going to give you more money if you let us give your champion back again. This is a great way. By the way, there was a news article, and I didn't realize my stuff was closed, but this is a great way to bring more players back in. And if they're partnering with Ninja again, I'm not saying they are, but if they are, you're going to see him potentially promote the game again, and that may get more players to come back. That may get more players to show up for the first time. Incensa. So, I don't know what their plans are, but the only thing I could think of why Ninja was a limited time only was because they didn't want to have to keep paying Ninja. And it was like their way of saying, like, yeah, we'll only pay you while it's available or something. I think that's the same reason why Rhonda is no longer available. And that she was a limited time thing. Because she's a likeness of a person. Hang on. Let me get my second account logged in here. I would argue Saoirse was. I don't even think she, like, Ninja doesn't make her more pointless. I think she was just pointless. I think Mordecai makes Saoirse pointless. But yeah, here's the news. You read that right. We're giving another chance to get Ninja. If you missed him the first time, he's real powerhouse. Yeah. So new players, like if I started a new account, I could get Ninja returns and start a new account with Ninja. I am not gonna lie, I'm incredibly tempted to go start Ninja. I got to admit though, this is a little concerning because they might be pretty desperate for they might have lost a bunch of players, which will sound kind of crazy, but it kind of feels that way. I was just thinking I had nothing to do in the game, then got 6-star Fennec Soul, single pulled Gizmek, and now Ninja is out. Seems like I'm living in 12.3 Brutal for a while. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was released like 2 years ago to the day or something, so his copyright expired, I'm guessing. It could be, yeah, it might be something related to that. And they're like, oh, here's an opportunity that we can capitalize. I'll definitely make a video talking about why he. So a lot of people probably because they never get him have never considered about why he's so good and what he brings to the table and stuff. Also love that he's Shadowkin. It's kind of a new faction, you know, like they don't have as deep of a roster as some of the others, so you do have that opportunity. He's also going to pair very very well with Mikage, of course. But the biggest value that you get out of Ninja, so it's a triple hitter. Each hit, when booked, has a 100% chance of placing a burn. And when used against bosses, will instantly activate any HP burn, including burns placed by this skill. So if the boss is under a burn, you're instantly going to activate it, and then instantly activate the 3 more burns that get placed by this ability. So burn, 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 burn. And that's a lot of damage, especially on like clan boss, especially on bosses that are more sensitive to burns. Like I would say maybe Ice Golem Hard. I don't know if he's very common in Ice Golem Hard or not, but I know that burn activation in itself is really, really solid. Alright, be nice. Let's see something good here. Let's see something good here. Alright, I'll take a legendary book. That's not too bad. So that, I don't know which account I'm on right now, but that would be the last legendary book for the rabbit, who I'm about to level. We'll do that on stream here. I might book him too, especially since it's a tournament. It would make sense to book him. Yeah, okay. So that was on the free-to-play. So that's great news to get a book there. What affinity? Okay, so it's force affinity. So I can't test to see if I've fixed my magic problem. I am curious who is better in this team, Geomancer or Ninja. All right, now main account. Let's open up everything on the main account. I haven't had a sacred in a minute. Like I'm a little salty that I haven't had sacreds recently. You think Geo would be better? So I don't know, because the team is dependent on the clan boss taking turns. So Geo only does damage 240 sometimes, but Ninja could potentially do damage more often. I mean, I'll take a Void Shard, though. Like, I can't... Like, honestly, Void Shards are... especially on this account, are more valuable to me than Sacreds. I hate to say it, but it has kind of gotten to that point. There we go. All right. Off to a great start. Can I still not collect these? No, okay, I made room. Yeah, guys, I did a massive gear cleanse on the free-to-play. Look at this. I only got 457 pieces of gear now. Just a massive cleanse. One of the biggest cleanses I've done on the account. Period. Ignore 50% of defense. And decrease the cooldown of hail burn. So this is just always going off. I don't know, guys. I get where you're coming from, but again, you're banking on the boss taking turns. Mikolaj, you would not like the way that I did this. I'm not gonna lie. I got rid of probably a lot of good gear. But it was stuff that I was convincing myself, hey, I might use that, right? I got rid of anything that was basically 5 stars. That didn't have reasonable stats, right? Like this has speed and survive, like basically. So what I did is I went through and I was like, okay, speed, anything with speed stays in this set, right? Here, I'm looking for, if it's 6 star, then I'll do speed and accuracy. If it was 5 star with speed and accuracy, I wouldn't keep it. This is a damage set, so I was looking for crit rate, crit damage, right? But speed and accuracy in this set, I wasn't keeping it, right? Because I really want the speed and accuracy on accuracy or on, like this one was, I used, this is why there's so much relentless. I kept speed and accuracy in here because I would use that per a potentially like a buffer, debuffer type thing, right? Obviously speed and accuracy here as well. So, yeah, I just got rid of a ton of stuff that I will never use. I didn't even think about that, how quickly I want to build them out. It's going to be interesting. You're going to see a lot of content on Ninja coming out because content creators, they try to avoid talking about Ninja because I think their community gets really pissed off. If you're like, yeah, you can beat Sanddevil with Ninja Godseeker, go ahead. It's really easy. You can do it. Everybody can do it. And then you go do it, and it's, or then your immediate comment is, well, I don't have Ninja. What are you talking about? This isn't fair. How dare you, you dirty pay to win that's been around forever? You have a Ninja and I don't. I do, so I do when items roll bad. What I mean by that is, like, here we've got a piece. I need to upgrade something to 4 stars anyways. So, yeah, so if this rolled, like, triple crit rate, I'd keep it. If this rolled triple resistance, I don't know that I keep it. That's a bad example piece, though. Let me find something, yeah, I mean, the problem is I kept everything that has good stats now and good potential rolls. I did get rid of a bunch of stuff that rolled poor. Like, I had gear up here that probably had, like, speed, accuracy, flat HP, flat defense, and it triple rolled into flat HP. I was like, trash. Gone. Right? I actually should sell this too, and I'm going to. So I'm sure you're like, but that's a 6-star accuracy. That's so good. There's no speed on it. I'm just so tired of how slow all my champions are on this account. And now I've kind of lit a fire under me. Instead of settling, I can get those good pieces. Especially now that I'm farming it at higher difficulties. So I, by the way, was really super not paying attention to the Forge Pass is a really good set. I really want this. So I'm not going to pay for it, of course, but I really want to hit. It is 2 sets. I knew it. I was so confused. I was like, yeah, it was only the Defiant set. And then I looked yesterday and I was like, no, it's the Righteous set. I want the Righteous set, but that's because it's 2 sets. That makes so much more sense now. I was so confused. I want Righteous more than I want Defiant because speed and resistance on certain champions is really good. Do you take before I... You mean, wait, what? Do you take into consideration how the item rolled? I mean, before you ever upgrade the gear. What, I'm confused by the sentence. So, yes, I guess the answer is yes. Like, here... So, I had a lot of stuff that was, like, 5-star gear that had crit rate and crit damage, but it had, like, flat defense and, like, flat HP. So, I got rid of that stuff. And... and you'll even see I use a lot of that gear, too. Like here. Now, this is okay, because I do get accuracy on it, and you want that on Sun Wukong, but really, you want accuracy and attack percent here, not flat HP, right? Oh, wait. Are you talking about if I wanted to re-roll it? Like with, ore? I don't really take that into consideration at all, if I'm honest. The odds are so poor, and it's so easy to waste. I've said this before on camera, that I think the best places to re-roll gear are the top 3. Because you can't get a bad main stat. Like, if you have a bottom 3 piece that's flat HP, and you re-roll it, you could get flat attack. And it's just not worth the extra effort that, you know, did. I am super excited about Ninja coming back. I'm excited about what it's going to do for the game. It's going to bring more people back to the game, I hope, because he's popular, he's famous, right? And the champion itself is so good for boss damage. All those people right now who are saying, like, I don't have Newt, I don't have Newt. I mean, Ninja can put up Newt type damage on bosses. And this is going to unlock Sand Devil for a lot of people who don't have Newt, but they have Godseeker. Now they can do the Godseeker Ninja combo, and you're going to be set. So I'm excited. I'm super excited about it. Super, super excited. In fact, I might even build the Godseeker on the free-to-play. I might do Godseeker Ninja, because that's probably a better combination for me than Godseeker Newt on the free-to-play, because I have to hit such high survivability stats on the Newt. Yeah, so what he does, he automatically activates HP burns when he places them, and he places them on a triple hitter. So he can get the equivalent if it's just him solo, he gets 3 burn activations per use of this ability, which also gets its cooldown reduced by this ability. But if there's a 4th burner out there, then you'll get 4 HP burns out of this ability. Alright, Snowy said, we could see the campaign extended when we get this final faction, right? I'm excited for it, even if it's not in the near future. It's something that feels like it's always been the same. I have not given that any thought. I will say that Sylvan Watchers, well, they do have some uncommons. The only place that you really see those get used is in... Why do I have a red dot that wasn't showing up? Anyways, I don't know that the campaign ever gets extended. The campaign might get reworked, but I don't... I mean, maybe a higher difficulty, but there's no room for the map to continue. So I don't think they would go any further to the right here. Okay, for example, let's take a 5-star piece. There is a range of stats you will get. So let's take crit percent as a secondary stat. It could roll 4, 5, or 6%. This is as soon as you get it before you ever roll it up. Yes, yeah. That is a factor. So that's why a lot of those 5-star pieces got sold, because they only had 4% crit rate, and then I had big rolls in other stuff, or it's like, okay, well, that's not really going to level up that much. I get where you're coming from with that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I do consider that. That's why 5-star pieces got the boot. 6-star pieces, you have a higher original base percentage, right? Like, I had some 5-star pieces that had 4 speed, and then didn't get a roll as well. But just in general, yeah. He needs 100% crit rate and high accuracy to land them, but he can land 3. Everybody needs 100% crit rate and high. I mean, so again, we're talking comparisons with Newt, right? Look, you could build Newt without accuracy, but considering what he can do, you're going to want accuracy on him. So if you look at my current Newt build, we've got 254 accuracy, 100% crit rate, 225% crit damage. This build would also be good on Ninja. And if I could achieve it on my free-to-play on my Newt, then I know that I can also achieve it on a Ninja. I started on the Deliana login. Yeah, I started on Deliana login on my main account. That's when I started as well, Tig. So I'm excited just to be able to use him now. How is he in Faction Wars? Because that is a faction I lack in. Oh, he's amazing. Ninja is quite literally good everywhere. If you were to ask me a champion, if you could start, like, honestly, this is the truth. If I could start with any champion in the game on a new account, Ninja's the choice. And because you get everything you need out of this guy. First of all, he scales very well, right? So he gains attack and crit damage as the fight goes on. Yes, only up to 100% and 25%, but that's a lot of attack and crit damage. And it goes up even higher against bosses, right? So that's his passive. Here, you have an AoE hit that has a 100% chance of placing freeze when booked. So you're talking crowd control, okay? So he's good for wave and PvP content right out the gate. Then you have a heavy hitting A2 that will cast HP burn and instantly activate it, which is what makes champions like Artak and some of the other HP burners that can activate their own burns so good, because you're instantly activating. Oh, also getting a perfect veil, which reduces the damage he takes by default. And what is it? If we look in here, if we go to perfect veil, Perfect Veil reduces incoming damage by 15%. So he takes 15% less damage, and he puts it on himself. And then you get a decreased defense. Yes, it's single target, but again, we're talking bosses here. You're getting single target decreased defense, which also fills his turn meter. It is a kind of low chance, though. I will admit that 60% chance of a decreased defense is not that great, but it is on an A1. So could you help me with teams for Arena and Siege? A short look over, maybe. Won't take more than 10 minutes. Yeah, give me a second. There was a couple of things I need to do on camera here. I don't know if I'm sure you're asking how pleased am I to receive Ninja. I don't know how much more pleased I can express that I'm happy about this. What's up, Alex? Do you think he will outperform Jintoro and Clan Boss? I absolutely do. His design just mouthwatering. I love watching people sit on his kit, especially since I'm getting him now. I just avoided him up until now. Yeah, no, he's a really, really good, just really, really good champion. And he's the answer to so many problems in this game. Like people that don't have a newt. He is comparable. Honestly, he might be better in some cases. I think I mean, obviously he's really, really good in Sand Devil. But because he's magic affinity, he will get me past this hump. Maybe I still end up using Newt on stage 25, but I think Ninja will probably be better for my account for progressing Sand Devil with my Godseeker than what my Newt would be able to do. Yeah, he's just a great all-around champion because you get that AoE hit, which it smacks, by the way. I've been in low arena. You run into a ninja, and he can wipe your team. He's not going to be able to carry you in arena, like, hard. Like, he's not going to do Baron-type damage or any of the big nukers. Like, see, he's not going to hit as hard as Sun Wukong in arena. But he could be up there with Yakarl, I would be willing to bet. That might be a bit of a stretch, depending on how they're built, of course. But, yeah, he's just a great all-around champion. He's going to clear bosses. He's going to speed up anybody's progression in most parts of the game. So, there was one other thing. I feel like I missed a comment that I forgot to talk about. You think my free-to-play account is made? Yeah, definitely. I mean, getting Ninja on the free-to-play changes a lot. It really changes a lot. And honestly, this is the best opportunity for anybody that's looking to start the game to play. Like anybody that's been on the fence about Raid Shadow Legends, I don't know if I really want to play that game or whatever. Now is when you go put that code in, get Ninja day freaking 1, and you will breeze through most content in this game. Guaranteed. Absolutely one of the top champions in the game. And I love the fact that he's been brought back because the game has grown so much in population. And content creators can finally say again, like, yes, I can use my ninja in a video and you're not going to hate me. Not me. I never had him. But I know a lot of content creators will put a video out and be like, this is the best strategy to beat Sand Devil 25, right? You click on the video and it's like, yeah, so ninja. Okay, bye. But now we can all get him. Okay, let's do the fun stuff that I want to do. I think I'm going to record it as well. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Snowy. I haven't looked into that. I just know there is a code to get Ninja as a starter. But I would assume that Sun Wukong's code is Dunzo. But people were talking about his code being Dunzo soon anyways. Honestly, I would slightly argue, because this account did have Sun Wukong from the start, I would slightly argue that Ninja might be a little bit better as an all-arounder. Sun Wukong is a better nuker. Sun Wukong brings block buffs, which is a big, something that's high in demand. But I do think that Ninja will probably help beginner players much more. All right, I'm going to record my video for today. We're going to do some opening of souls on both accounts, and we'll talk about Ninja and a couple of other things on the game. Okay, guys? So give me, after this, I know somebody, and I Freak, yeah, Freak, I will totally do. Well, we'll talk about it, Freak. We'll talk about it, because I would feel kind of guilty. You're a regular here. I absolutely adore you, but I have made other people become members. But you're in my clan, aren't you? I don't know. We'll get that figured out after I record this. So let me knock out this recording real quick. Hello, everybody. I'm Roadblock. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. We are on the free-to-play, and it is an exciting day for everybody. In case you missed the news, I will fill you in. Ninja, one of the top champions of the game that has been locked out for oh so many of us, is now available once again for free, and it only takes 5 days. So for those of you that haven't logged in yet and haven't seen the way this is going to work, he is in here under the limited special offers. All you have to do is collect these packs, log in for 5 days, and you get your Ninja. Now, it's worth noting that you'll see the next one is only in 9 hours. So I'm actually getting 2 in 1 day. So I'm actually going to get Ninja in basically 3 days. And I'm stupid. Well, I'm what, 4 days is what I mean to say. But yeah, super excited about this. And we'll talk a lot about Ninja. But I want to get some of the more important stuff out of the way first. Account stuff, things that I said I would do, right? So, right out the gate, we are going to go ahead and, without making you guys wait, we're going to pull these souls. So, this is my main account. I just swapped over. You may not have caught that on the screen. So, as you can see, I have a lot more champions here, so I'm definitely looking for a good soul out of this. Would love, like, a Rotos 6-star. Oh my god, would be crazy. But of course, any 6-star for any of these champions would pretty much be game changing. So let's hope for something good here. We'll start with opening this. Here we go. It's an epic, and it's a 4-star seer. Is that higher than what I currently have? It is not. So my seer on this account is 6-star ascended. So that is a waste for me, and this is why I really hate this and why I wish I didn't go for it. Well, I don't. That's not true, because I like the rewards from Sand Devil itself, so I do appreciate that. Here, very limited options. We will see. We're all back on the free-to-play. Much fewer champions that I could benefit from this. So here we go. Let's see. Maybe we get something crazy good. It's an epic. A 4-star Whisper. That's pretty good. I feel like I have Whisper on this account. I might not. Let me go to the Awaken thing. Or no, I guess it'll just, if I do the Soul Collection, it'll tell me, right? Yeah, I don't have Whisper. If I did, I would have built her. So that's true. That's fair. So no Whisper. So again, this is why I did question if I wanted to spend my energy, but please note, I did not spend any gems to complete that tournament. I just used my passive energy gain, any energy that I got from you know, doing my quests, doing my weekly, doing all that stuff. So overall, really, really happy with how I completed that tournament. And I also did progress. If you watched my recent video, I did also progress my dungeon, my Sand Devil, up to stage 21. So I'm getting a lot more points per energy because I'm doing a higher difficulty. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about before we get into Ninja, but there isn't that I can think of off the top of my head. So let's talk about Ninja. Now, I already mentioned that Ninja is going to be... If I look in the right spot, there I'll find him. A 5-day login. He is not a login legendary, which sounds counterintuitive, but I want to be clear that this Ninja event, however long it'll last, is not like the progressive, or I forget what they call it. It's usually a different tab up here that only pops up when we get a new free login legendary, a 7-day legendary. I want to say it's progression, or I think it's champion chase. I think is what it's actually called. But we still should be expecting another 7-day login legendary in the near future. Ninja is not replacing that. This is a separate event. That's why it's through the shop and not through that that champion chase or whatever. You know, the menu that has the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you get a piece of gear each day. Like when we got Adolin, like when we got Sun Wukong, UDK, all that stuff, right? So I do think we're still going to get a different login legendary. Let's talk about why they're doing this for Ninja. Well, there's a couple of things. Often I wondered, why would they not allow Ninja to be pulled from shards? And I'm sure it probably has something to do with their agreement with Ninja, the copyrights, all that kind of stuff. It's possible that maybe I'm only speculating. I am not like the insider content creators. I don't have connections at Plarium. I've never spoken to them. They've never talked to me. I don't get any benefit. I'm not part of their content creator program or anything like that. But my suspicion is probably that either they're trying to get new players to come back in, and they're trying to go through Ninja again because when they did the partnership with him, that was a big boost for their game. So maybe they're doing something again with him, or there's something in their contract and things ran out and they can start giving ninjas out. I don't know what it is. It's very interesting. But I'm excited. Very, very excited. So getting Ninja is really good. Let's talk about his kit really briefly and what he's going to be able to do for my free-to-play, for your account, and even on my main account. He is a Shadowkin, which is a very interesting faction. Keep in mind that he does pair well with Lady Mikage because he has decreased defense on his A1, so her ally attack can get you more chances to land that. Because she has an ally attack on her A1. So Ninja's kit with the A1, you do get 45, or so it's what is it? 55, 60% chance of landing decreased defense on an A1. That's pretty decent. And fills his champion by 15% when used against bosses. He is a boss killer, by the way. The A2 is amazing. This does so much damage. It's a 3x hitter. Each hit has a 100% chance when booked of placing an HP burn for 3 turns, and then placing a perfect veil on this champion for 2 turns. When used against bosses, will instantly activate any HP burns, including HP burns placed by this skill. That means sorry, I'm reading chat there. That means that you can activate 3 iterations of HP burn every time he uses this ability. And you get to reduce the cooldown on it. So anytime you use Cyan Slash, attacks all enemies, has a 100% chance when booked of freezing. By the way, great crowd control ability. When targeting a boss, will only attack the boss and will ignore 50% of the target's defense. Wow. Will also decrease the cooldown of Hail Burn by 1 turn. This is Hail Burn. So you're talking about this ability being reduced to a 2-turn cooldown whenever he uses this ability that ignores 50% of defense on a boss. Oh, and by the way, he increases his attack by 10% up to 100% and crit damage by 5% up to 25% each time a single enemy is hit by all 3 of Ninja's active skills in a single round. This effect can occur multiple times against the same enemy. So he's just going to build up his stuff, but it gets even better. While fighting bosses, will increase Ninja's attack by 20% up to 100% and crit damage by 10% up to 25% instead. So when this gains even faster against bosses, he can smack. So the instant comparison that I make, and this may be controversial because his type of damage is different, is to Newt as a boss killer. He kills bosses in a different way than how Newt kills bosses. Obviously, Newt kills bosses by doing enemy max HP damage 3 times in a row. But one of the common strategies for Sand Devil, for example, is a Godseeker ninja team. Content creators don't like to talk about this team that much because previously nobody could get ninja again. So a large portion of their audience watching their content gets mad whenever they say, oh, use ninja in this team because nobody had ninja unless you've been playing the game for 3 years. So now we have that option. So you can see my team right now, I use Godseeker Newt. Godseeker Ninja could arguably be better because he's also placing a debuff. And if you understand Sand Devil, you do more damage per the number of debuffs that are placed. So there's some interesting value there. He's also better against magic affinity. So I could use him to get past stage 22 where Newt is weaker to. And then get to stage 25 where Newt is stronger and maybe have to use Newt on stage 25 instead of Ninja. But Ninja will help me progress here. But Ninja is also really, really good as your clan boss damage dealer. I did ask this question, and I don't know the answer, but I did ask this question. If you're looking at my free-to-play team, I wonder who does more damage in clan boss between Ninja and Geomancer. Now, keep in mind, because instantly people are like, oh, Geomancer by far. But keep in mind, the tricky thing about Geomancer is that Geomancer's damage comes from when he gets hit. So your damage output is based on the boss taking turns. And Ninja's damage is every time he takes a turn. So there is a bit of an argument there. I would love to test it and find out who does more damage in a Wixwell team, to be specific. In a unkillable team, I would give I would almost always give the favor to Ninja because he's going to benefit more from a 50-turn fight than how Geomancer would fare in a 1,500-turn fight, if that makes sense. This is a really, really exciting big day for Raid Shadow Legends. And I told my chat this too before I started recording, that there's a lot of champions in the game, and I'm not going to be completely like, if you were to give me an opportunity to pick a legendary for a brand new account, Ninja's on the list. We'll say that. Don't get me wrong, there's some champions that would be like better or worse, or like I'd love to start an account with like a Siphi, Python, like there's really good supports out there, but Ninja does it all. Anytime I've made a lot of accounts. I've made 4 accounts, and a lot of time in early arena, you'll see these legacy teams from guys that played long time ago, probably don't even play anymore, and they've got ninjas in their PvP teams, and he would smoke me. He's good everywhere. He has really good crowd control with this freeze ability. He has really good boss damage with this ability here. He brings his own decreased defense. And he self-buffs to massive damage. And this is before buffs, by the way. So, like, this crit damage up to 25%, you can still put a crit damage buff on him and get even more crit damage. You can still put increased attack on him and get even more attack. So he scales so well. He's just an absolute beast of a champion, and we all now get him for free in only 5 days. If you've been away from the game for a while, now is the time to come back. But it does get better. In the news, he is a free legendary to new accounts. Which I don't know why you're watching my content if you've never played Raid Shadow Legends, but if you've never played Raid Shadow Legends, now is the time to log in and play. Because you get to start with one of the best champions in the game, absolutely free, with a promo code day1. Ninja will carry most accounts in this game if built properly. So, he is an absolute beast, and I highly encourage you guys to, if you were on the bubble, here's what I think happened. I think a lot of people freaked out about Clan Siege and booked it. Now you guys, they're like, hey, okay, cool, you guys left. Hey, here's Ninja. You want to come back? You want to come back? I'm giving you a Ninja. Here you go. Come on back. So I think that's going to bring a lot of players back. I think we're going to see population go up pretty high. So I'm very, very excited about this. And if you can't tell how excited I am about it. Okay, let's talk other account stuff for the free-to-play. I did a very, which many of you probably didn't watch. I don't blame you. It was like a 40-minute long video. I did a very, very in-depth dive on the progress of the account. But we've got a lot of events going on right now. So we've got, obviously, the Path of the Serpent. I've expressed my opinions on this on stream, and I'll repeat them here, I guess. I don't know that I am super excited about a Mithrala soul. Mithrala is great. Souls are great. I just don't know that I feel like a soul on Mithrala is something that is worth my resources before the next fusion. We don't know what the next fusion is going to be. It could be something amazing. I think I'm going to wait. I don't think I'm going to go all out. You know, I am certainly not going to do... I might do the artifact enhancement events. We'll talk about that in a second. But I don't know that I'm going to spend gems on any of these dungeons or anything. I will take, you know, I have no soul on her, so any soul that I can get, whether it's a 1 or 2 or a 3-star, are fine. But I don't know that I'm going to push myself hard and go for the 5-star soul and weaken my account right now. I have less than 1,000 gems. I have a ton of silver. We'll talk about that. But me personally, I don't think a soul for Mithrala is as good as a soul for a nuker or a healer or other types of champions. One important thing that I never considered before, and I saw this on a Boozer video yesterday, talked about Mithrala. Polymorph is less good on Mithrala because she has such high resistance by default. And if you read the Polymorph skill, it places it whenever they place debuffs on this champion or steals buffs from them. So if she doesn't receive those debuffs or doesn't get her turn meter or any of those things that would activate Polymorph, it doesn't make sense to have it on a Mithrala, right? So that's one thing to consider when you're talking about what blessings you would get on Mithrala. And I never thought about that. I think I said this a few videos ago. I was like, I would love to have Polymorph on her. And then I saw him say that, and I was like, that's a duh. How did I not realize that? So keep that in mind if you're considering what blessings to go for her. So I don't know that I'm going to go hard on that event. I am going to do this champion training tournament. A, because it does get me some pretty good resources along the way, and B, I have a champion that I really want to level right now. That's really what it comes down to. So Razzlevarg is ready to level. I talked about this in the video. I can level up these 3 guys, feed them to Razzlevarg. We're also going to finish booking Razzlevarg. Let's go ahead and do that right now. So let me show you what I do when I'm leveling somebody during a champion training event or tournament. So who are my foods? We're using Jizzo as food. Some of you may not be happy about this. I know there are people that love Jizzo out there. No dirty joke intended. But I am not going to use him. And I held on to this Elhain forever saying, oh, I'll build her for Faction Wars. It never happened. And I really want Razzlevarg more than I want the potential to level up an Elhain a long time from now. And some of you may also be screaming at me, Roadblock, what are you doing? Wait, don't level him now. Save that food for Ninja. You're going to get Ninja in a couple of days. Sacrifice the gear. It's probably trash. Razzlevarg's better for me right now, and I can farm up food for Ninja in the future, so I'm not worried about that. We're going to fully ascend him. I do need to get one more potion. We can max out his ascension. You'll see we're getting tournament points for doing all of this. And we will upgrade this last skill. Now, I do like to wait until Clan v Clan for booking out champions, but I really want that cooldown, and we are in the middle of a champion training tournament. So that's a big little chunk of points there, and I didn't spend any resources to get it. 764 points right there, and I still need to level him up. Now, I've got a pretty decent number of magic brews, and it's only going to take 100. I will definitely spend that. And that's going to get me over 1,000 points already in champion training. And now I can just keep working on it, keep leveling up food. But we've got Razzlevarg leveled up, and I will be able to gear him and use him in Hydra. Now, I'm going to do that off camera for you guys, but on camera for chat. We're going to kick off Hydra and throw him in to the team and see how well things go. So I'm going to finish building him and get that done. So we are about 20 minutes in this video. We've talked about a lot. Very, very excited right now. A lot of fun stuff going on in the game. Looking forward to that. If you guys have anything that you'd like me to talk about, I do have some videos. I want to talk about Arena. I want to talk about Wixwell. And I also wanted to talk about fusions. So keep an eye out for those. Those are going to be dedicated videos. I might still record one of those and release one of those today. So you might get 2 videos from me today, which would be interesting. But overall, very, very excited about what's going on in the game. And what's going on my account. Because, man, Ninja is really going to open things up for me on the account. I mean, I can run both Ninja and Newt now on the same boss teams, which is really, really, really good for me. So, absolutely thrilled about this. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for all of the support. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. It's the best way to support me and just help me grow my channel. I love doing what I'm doing, and I'd love to keep doing this full time, but I need your help to do it. So that's every time that you click that subscribe button, that just helps me get a little bit closer to that goal. And if you have anything that you want to let me know, you want to tell me if you agree with my opinion, if you disagree with my opinion, let me know in the comments. I love to read them. I respond to most comments on my account, and then give me a like, because that helps me with the algorithm. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. All right, let me get a drink, and I got to catch up. You guys kept going in chat, man. I couldn't keep up. Okay. I thought I'd started the worst time, having missed the 5th anniversary and Rathalos, but having got Wukong and now Ninja on the way feels even better. Exactly. Regi says the classic easy, hard 10 dungeon team. And when you see the team, it's like 5 top-end champions, and you're lucky if you ever pull one. Yeah, exactly. Freak says, yeah, I'm in your clan. Also, will there be a Yeah, I'm in your clan. Also, will be a member back again soon. Oh, okay, gotcha. Nice pull, even though you didn't have the champ. Wow, I didn't know you can't pull him without shards. Yes, he is not allowed to. If you look at the shards, whoops, not that one. If you go to info, you can see cannot be summoned, and from any shard, ninja is right here. So you cannot get ninja from shards. Um, leave him in the claim window. You can, but that will eventually go away. So just keep that in mind. Don't wait too long. Usually they do a soul chase after path events, so I'd save pulling the Mithralis souls for a little bit as well. 18 to 20. I don't know what the 18 to 20 meant. I use a Skull Crusher killable team for an Ultra Nightmare and have Newt and Frozen Banshee as my main damage dealers. Usually do a 4 key and close to 3 key. Ninja will place Frozen Banshee. Yep, absolutely. How does the AO work? Yeah, it's a single target in Hydra. Think for Wixwell, Geo is better because as clan boss scales up, so does Geo. But isn't Ninja's damage increase capped? The HP burn would be capped. You might have answered this earlier, but my daughter woke up. I wasn't able to stick around. He's amazing in Faction Wars because he has that freeze for wave clear. And then for the boss, he's going to blow up the boss. It depends probably. I run a 2-1 Wixwell, so Ninja would probably do more damage since I attack more than the clan boss. But in a 1-to-1, it would be close probably. Yeah, you guys talked about it. I think Artak is generally better than Ninja. Less boss damage, but much more versatile. For me, Ninja edges out Artak because of the freeze. A case in point, yesterday, I was talking to a clan member who had like a 7-minute stage 1 run. And I was sitting there like, oh, use your Rathalos, use your X, Y, and Z, right? Kill the boss faster. The boss isn't the problem, it's the waves. He had no crowd control for the waves. His best crowd control would be Yakarl, who was not booked, I don't even think mastered. And he doesn't have Armands. I'm able to cheese it because I have Armands. So you can use Ninja to control those waves and get through them a little bit easier, but then also do damage for the boss. So I really like Ninja's versatility in that regard. But I think Artak would do more damage probably on Hydra, for sure. I just don't think Artak is going to be able to decimate bosses as quickly as Ninja. Doesn't Ninja's passive say his attack percent increase caps? Yes, of course that stuff caps. But every damage dealer has that cap. Well, the pat like the most you can gain. Sorry, when I'm saying, so you got to think of it like this. I'm not finding the right words to explain what I'm trying to say. My Sun Wukong has a cap. This is it. Right? So Ninja has this same cap plus 25% more. Plus 100% more attack. Does that make sense? So anybody that is does damage based on their stats, meaning non-enemy max HP champions, they all have their own individual cap relative to their stats, if that makes sense. His stats just have the ability to go higher than yeah, his stats have the ability to go higher than someone else. So you're gonna build him the same way you would any other regular, like a Rathalos, for example. You're gonna build him the same way, except you'll need accuracy on him if you want to land the burns. But he's gonna have 100% more attack than Rathalos. Well, that's not completely true because his base stats will be different, but you get where I'm going with this, I hope. So Yeah, I think he's an absolute beast. And he doesn't share the same cap that enemy max HP nukers have, which again brings his value up a little bit. Newt is completely limited in the damage he can do single target. Because he cannot exceed percentages of the boss HP. Whereas Ninja can do as much damage as you can gear him for. So, how does Clan Boss's damage scale up as turn increase? Every time Clan Boss takes a turn, he hits harder and harder and harder and harder until the end of a fight. But I don't know this for sure. That's where the counter, that's where the ability, the reflect damage out of um Geomancer comes in so handy in those really, really long fights. However, I think there's a cap on it because it did feel like it was the same amount of damage at a certain point. I don't know. I'm not the in the code guy. Like I'm not like Saf. I don't really know, but it is something that is it's a question in my brain. What's better, Ninja or Geomancer in a Wixwell team? And I don't know. I'm gonna test it. That's the only way I can figure it out because I can't read the code. So we'll build a Ninja and we'll test it. But we're a little ways away from that. Okay. Freak, do you want me to do your takeover real quick before I start doing other stuff? Well, that's why I have a channel, right? So I can do this stuff for you, Peanut Butter. I'll do a test for you. Help you guys make an educated guess. But regardless, when you're talking Sand Devil, Ninja's awesome. And if you don't have Newt and you get to stage 25, message me your information, Freak, and I will get logged into you. If you don't have Newt for stage 25, you can just run Affinity Breaker as well, which is so much easier said than done, I admit. I don't think you have to run Affinity Breaker. It makes it easier, it makes it faster, but you could just as easily put Ninja in regular gear. It's just going to take longer, but you'll be at least be able to farm stage 25. How did you say? Okay, I wasn't logged in on Discord. That made that I was really confused. I got it on my phone, but didn't see it pop up in my Discord on the game in the computer. All right, let me block this out real quick. So we're gonna do a quick account takeover, guys, for one of my clan members. We've got my clan is doing a lot of stuff like this right now as we approach clan siege. If my stream gets too laggy, I may have to close one of my existing games, but I'm trying to keep all three of them open right now. Can you remind me, Freak, what it is that you want me to take a look at? I'm just looking at Teddy. You're fine. Teddy's stinky. Let's see if I can scroll up and find what Freak was wanting. Help me with the teams for Arena and Siege. Yeah. Okay. Arena and Siege. Let's take a look at your arena right now. And see what... So you're gold 5. Great. What do you run? Seems like a pretty reasonable team here. Take a look at champions. We've got Arbiter. 274 speed. Just curious here. We do fitting room. Let's do priority stats. Speed high. Hide set filters. And we'll do everything but boots. Alright, so that's slower. I do wonder if there's not... Yeah, okay. Just wanted to check. Sometimes you'd be surprised at how much speed you can get. Out of gear that isn't necessarily giving you a speed boost. Like that's the 10% here. Unlucky there. Only getting 1 into the speed roll. And yeah. I think you're doing good. I think you built your Arbiter probably as fast as you can. I don't know if you're getting protection set at all. Yeah, you've only got 2 pieces. Yeah, and do you have a protection ring? No. Okay. So your Arbiter is probably built as fast as can be. Your Armand's is faster than her. Ugh. I don't know that I agree with that. What's crazy is that you're able to hit that speed with Armands without even using speed gear as well. So I am curious if there's not better speeds that you could get without this gear. So here's the problem that you're going to run into. So If you're running Armands faster than Arbiter, you don't need Arbiter. I use Arbiter because Arbiter has a higher base speed and is easier for me to hit my speed goal. And then I can Arbiter first into Armands. If the fastest if the fastest team that you can beat is 282 speed, that's your limit. Having Arbiter in there doesn't do anything for you except allow you to run slower champions in the rest of the team. And I will tell you right now, your Sun Wukong is not going to hit hard enough to beat most teams. With the way that you're building, with the way that you've built this roster. So, if you're saying Armands is my fastest champion, he's going to go first every single time, that's fine. You don't need Arbiter at that point. Unless your Sun Wukong is that slow that he needs more turn meter. I mean, she is your increased attack champion, so the argument there is that you do still kind of want her for that purpose. But and I don't think, yeah, there's no increased attack here, right? So you're using, this is your decreased defense champion. I guess technically she has the faster aura too. That was weird. Very unlucky that you don't have a better ring for your Sun Wukong. How old is this account? Let's take a look. Daily login, day 231. So yeah, pretty new-ish. 34-second farm. I would definitely ramp up your farming of Spider. You should pretty easily be able to find an attack ring for Skinwalkers. Well, yeah, I mean, that's so. If you ever watch me do live arena, let me go over to my account. So this is my free to play here. So my live arena team, they ban my Armands, but I have a 305 speed Arbiter. So I still have a speed team. So I go Arbiter into Deacon, who gives me more turn meter and decreases the defense of my enemy, into Sun Wukong, and then I either run Mithrala or Ultimate Death Knight as my other champion there. And so Mithrala will cleanse if I need it. Ultimate Death Knight is kind of cheesy with Sun Wukong because Ultimate Death Knight can just not die, and then Sun Wukong comes back and finishes everybody off. You don't really have a champion that can kind of fill that role. Looking through your roster, see if we've got any sleepers in here. Anybody that So, my recommendation that's going to make you win more runs. Live Arena, Armand's is always going to get banned. You need to keep that in mind. I'm not saying don't list him, but you can play around the fact that you know he's going to get banned. Now, sometimes they don't ban my Armands, and I still lose because they play around. They're faster than me, or they have other ways to beat me. But this is not my account, Alex. This is my clan member's account. I'm doing an account takeover right now. What I will say for your regular arena, you've already committed to the fact that you are only going as fast as Armands, but you also need to keep the increased attack for your nukers. It's just kind of a weird setup. You got to think about the fact that she's giving turn meters to your team, right? And giving increased attack to your nukers. I don't think your Sun Wukong hits hard enough to win at this level. It really looks like you're only able to succeed against single target stuff, right? Like free wins. So on my free to play, I'm back on my free to play now. If I go into arena, let me hit refresh. I'm going to try to see if I can find a team similar. So like this team, like I will go before this team. They don't have speed. But I can wipe them with one shot. Your Sun Wukong can't do that to a UDK. I'm willing to bet right now that your Sun Wukong cannot smoke a UDK in one shot. Alright, now the only reason this is taking so long is because of the Godseeker passive and because of Armands' stupid AI. Come on. Just want to be done. Alright. But, like, that's a tanky team where speed teams should excel. And I don't know that you're going to be able to find victory there. And I'm not saying that swapping... Like, having a fast Armands like that is sneaky. But I would argue... Let's do this. So, priority stats, we want as high a speed as we can get. We would assume we want a substat of speed. We want to turn off all filters, but we also want to include equipped, and we want to do this in the fitting room. So, if I try on these two pieces, your Arbiter goes up 282 speed. You've got a triple roll on an Apothecary in speed set. That actually probably... It says 6 slower, but that's just because we're not using that same chest. But, I'm curious if we use the helmet and the shield. Yeah, so 284. So you see, your Arbiter is getting up there with my Arbiter. And that would be a speed loss. You really need to... But I can get your Arbiter to 284 right now. You know, obviously, it's using all of Armands' gear. I don't know. It's just a weird... It's a weird spot. Like, I almost feel like if you're not going to run Arbiter... By the way, can that... He's not in a speed chest. Okay. To be the speed winning champion that she is, then I don't know that you want to run her at all per se. But you do need that increase attack, and I don't know that you have anybody else that gives the big version of increase attack that would be worth it. I'm assuming hers is a self buff. Yeah. And I don't think Doom Priest brings as much value as what Arbiter does for Arena. It's a really... Yeah, I really think that you need to consider rebuilding this Sun Wukong. It sucks you don't have an attack ring. Great, these gauntlets are amazing for you. That's awesome. Crit rate, crit damage, attack percent. You're also 10 over on crit rate. So because of the roll on this, you've actually... So you haven't rebuilt your Sun Wukong in a minute, huh? It definitely looks like that. Crit rate, crit damage, attack percent. So I would gain 6 crit damage with these. I would gain attack and crit damage with these. And now I'm at 100%, and I've gained 12% crit damage right out the gate. A little bit less accuracy, very, very little speed difference. Very little speed difference, but right away, I'm already doing better. If we take the attack percent off, and we look crit rate, crit damage, it shields. I'm trying to see if we have anything comparable. Nothing at the moment, but that right there would give you... It drops your attack a little bit, but you're gaining a lot of crit damage, and you're not wasting crit rate either. So there's definitely improvements that you can do here under Sun Wukong. These gloves will never get changed. Those are so good for you. Um, let's just take a look now at your Savage gear and see what we have. A lot of options. Any attack percent. Okay. You know, I didn't look at chests in general. With crit rate, crit damage. So this rolled 2 crit damage, 1 crit rate. Oh, I want main stat attack percent, though. Yeah. Wait. I'm looking at Rathalos, that's why. I was so confused. Okay. Yeah, that chest plate is really, really good for him. I think these two pieces stick, and I think if you're looking for Savage, you're looking in these three. So, what do we have in Savage for this? No boots. So unfortunately, we're DOA when it comes to trying to put Savage on because you don't have any good boots. Getting good rolls here though, which I like to see. Even this is interesting. Double crit rate, and you do get that attack percent. So I would definitely keep that piece. This one rolled ass. Unfortunate. Good rolls here. More for an HP-based nuker, though. These pieces I'd get rid of. Would really love to see if these could have rolled. Like, I like this one. Rolling that extra crit rate is really nice. Just sucks it doesn't have crit damage on it. And here, I would love to have seen that get the crit rate rolls, right? Just unlucky. You're doing all the right things. You're just limited by your resources themselves. You're limited by your gear. I do think you should have better gear than what you currently have. Hold up. So sell all this stuff. Were you trying to go for speed on that, maybe? I would sell all this stuff that's the bottom three with flat stats. It's all trash. Even the merciless boots. I know you maybe try and re-roll them first if you really want to, see if you can get that 6-star speed on it. But I would re-roll it for sure, and then get rid of it. I don't know when you do dungeons, but you've got 1600 energy. I would definitely be doing dungeons a lot and making use of your energy to try and get more gear. Like, your account, for as old as it is, has really low gear totals. Like, I would like to see... Because you're not that far behind me in terms of time in game, right? Like, you're about 2 months behind me, I'd say. Maybe 3 months behind me. But I had a much deeper set of resources, like 3,700 attack on your Sun Wukong. So my Sun Wukong is 5,000 attack now, but I'd say when I was, yeah, I mean honestly, I feel like I was still 5,000 attack back when I was at your level. So look at the, you're saying look at the time it takes. That takes the same amount of time for me. I'm a minute and a half. You're 2 minutes. Sorry, let me go to your account. From what it said, it was 2 minutes for your, yeah, 3 minutes. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with this, given your roster. Oh, you want to know how I can save you time on this? 1,000% I can save you time on this. Drop Rathalos and build a proper Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong can wave clear better. So this is what I was talking about yesterday to Freak. I put Sun Wukong in, and Sun Wukong clears this waves better. This is running the same team as you, but I'm doing it on hard. If I go to yours, where are you at on Dragon? Can you do Dragon hard? Yeah, so this is a boss killing focused team. This boss is not that much harder to kill. Focus on the waves. You're not going to die to the boss. As for Fire Knight stage 20, I get why you have the Apothecary here. You don't need him any longer because you have the triple hitter of Newt, you have the quad hitter of Coldheart, and you have turn meter control on 3 out of your 5 champions. As long as your speeds are good, you will go before Fire Knight, and he will not get a turn. Let me show you my Fire Knight team on my free to play. So, stage 20, speed lead, right? Armand's, you could make the argument that she's better than what Coldheart's doing for you, but you're still getting the right thing. I totally get that Rathalos, but I'm going to tell you right now, killing the boss is not what's taking him so long. If you look at his group that he's running, the boss is not the downfall here. You have got plenty of energy, so I don't feel guilty about spending it. Let's see how long you're in the waves for. So 55 seconds on the first wave. So we already know this is a 3-minute fight. We're almost at 2 minutes on the waves. And by the way, oh, are you only opening with your A2 on Armands and not using it again? Which is fine. That you're right to do so. You're just not killing the waves fast enough. Cool. We finally got through the waves. We've got a 2-minute fight so far. We should open with all our A1s here. Perfect. There we go. Cold Heart saved you there. That was not looking good. I think that was a 3%. It must have been. I know your Armands has way more accuracy than you need for stage 20 of Fire Knight. So that must have been a random unlucky resist that you had there. Oh, no, it's a weak hit issue. Because he's negative affinity here. Unlucky, but that's fine. Cool. So... I'm going to sell that for you because that's not good. 3 minutes and 31 seconds on that run. Now let me... see if I can do better. Round 1 doesn't matter. All right, so what I'm doing here, you have your crowd control here, and then you have your double wave clear. So what I'm banking on for you here is a much faster wiping of the waves. Oh, that's unlucky. Yeah, your Sun Wukong is so weak. He's also not the best affinity here. Both him and Armand's are not the best affinity here. What's up, Luis? Damn. Yeah, okay. I guess I'm wrong. Just to put things in perspective for you, this is what I can do on stage 20. Now, by the way, that's only Sun Wukong. I was running Sun Wukong and Rathalos for you. Here, my Sun Wukong is doing this all by himself. Obviously, this is a gear issue, and the only way for you to get better gear is to continue to run that really long 3-minute dungeon until you can improve your gear and get caught up. But do it overnight. Set those multi-battles up, run it overnight, farm that gear, get the stuff you need to build these champions better. Your first wave takes 1 minute. I did both waves in 57 seconds. Now, obviously, I am running Allure instead of Cold Heart, which is different. But for the most part, the teams are the same. So, 1:54 for that run. But you can see what a good wave clear can do to speed that up. And so I think if you build your Sun Wukong better, I'm curious if I could build him better for you in general. So I don't think there's better gloves, although I will admit these are not good. It's great that they're crit damage. It's great that you're getting 17 18, 19, 20, 21, 22% crit rate out of it too, because you're also getting the 5% bonus. That's pretty good, but no attack percent down here in all flat stats other than the crit rate, of course, speed. But they're not bad. They're just not the best. But given that they're fully ascended up and all of that stuff, they're pretty dang good. I wouldn't get rid of them, but to be clear, I would not get rid of them. So, crit rate, crit damage, attack percent. Now, we already did this, right? I already said, hey, if I try these on, which, by the way, these are only level 12 as well. How much silver? Do you mind? Can I upgrade this? You're watching ads right now, freak. So give me a second. I'll wait. All right, your ads are he might be watching ads right now. Let me wait. Okay. Oh, you've got... No, I can't. You don't have enough silver for me to upgrade that to 16. That's not... I don't have enough silver to upgrade that to 16. I'm not crazy, right? Like, it would say M. Yeah, if you had million. So you only have 200,000 silver. That's not enough to upgrade that to 16. But let me continue trying to rebuild your Sun Wukong a little bit better. I don't think there's better version of a chest plate, so we'll keep that chest plate. But substats, crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, these are perfect items, as I like to say. Fitting room, try on. So again, I'm getting you a little bit less attack, but a little bit more crit damage with not much speed or accuracy lost on him. I also want to include equipped. If we do crit rate, crit damage on a shield. The new Clan Siege Assassins read. I will talk about that in a second for you. I'm doing an account takeover right now, so I'm just kind of seeing if I can help improve this account just a little bit. I feel like you've reached the peak of what you can do here. Like, this piece opens up a lot of avenues with that much crit rate. So I kind of want to try this and then see if I can find a way to get more out of another piece. So what is it? Priority stats. Higher crit damage. But I lose some attack there. What if I say attack percent now? What if I say no crit rate? What's up, Brandon? How you doing? Also, Assassin's Reed, to answer your question, not only is Clan Siege interesting, but you can also, if you play the game today, if you start a new account, you can get Ninja day one, but all existing accounts will get Ninja in 5 days. So if you're looking for an opportunity to come back to the game, Assassins, now is the time because everybody gets Ninja. Oh, here we go. This might be worth upgrading. So let's just take... I can take it to 8. You're a little light on silver, but that shouldn't take much. A little bit of attack percent. This is for a takeover right now. I'll take it to 12. Oh, no! I'm so sorry. Oh, that's really unlucky. That's really, really unlucky. I feel really bad about that. Use your energy and do some spider and make up for it. Yeah, Ninja. I'll talk about that in a second, Assassins. Give me a second. Yeah, Savage or some ignored defense. That's why I was thinking this Cruel set. If I could get this to proc crit damage and attack, because you have a piece that has so much crit rate and you get so much crit rate from these gloves, it'll give you the flexibility to run crit damage attack on one of these pieces up here. I'm really sorry that I bankrupted you of silver right now. You can use my trick to get more silver back, but I would run a bunch of spider right now to get an attack ring for Sun Wukong, like they said in chat. And just let the multi-battles go. Leave the game running. Go do something. And then do a big cleanse as well. So, like... I'm really sorry. He's not talking. Freak is not talking in chat, and it's really scaring me because I feel terrible about that. You probably... I bet you have a bunch of attack necks. Yeah, so you could sell some of these. It's very, very unlikely that you're ever going to put an attack neck on anybody unless it's a special piece. So keep that one. Keep the blood shield, but could I look at Dragon Team Hard 1? This looks like a great team for killing the dragon, but you're probably going to take an hour on the waves. Real quick, though, I was talking about attack necks. The only thing you're going to use attack necks on are going to be bomb champions. That's it. Or champions that, for whatever reason, you don't crit cap. And you just want their raw attack to be higher, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, what if you're building somebody to do damage, you want crit damage on the neck. So I always sell attack necks, unless I think they're going to go on a bomb champion. I can run this, but I'm willing to bet you're just going to die to the waves. All right, while we're letting this run, I want to talk about why focusing Sun Wukong, getting him in that ignored defense is going to be so good, right? And I already demonstrated it. So if I can run my hard team. By the way, obviously I have Newt, which you're not running your Newt in this team. That's a little curious to me. Yeah, see, you're just not, you just don't have what it takes to get through the waves. And you're not bringing enough support for the Armands. This team is a really good boss killing team, but I don't think that you have the luxury of focusing on a boss only team. Oh man, it is pouring outside. I was like, what is that sound? No, bomb champions do not need 100% crit rate. They don't want crit rate at all. They want attack. You go. They're the only champions that wear attack percent gloves. So, oh, you're counting on this crit rate. So let me tell you about how that's a mistake for a Whisper. So Whisper is a champion that gets a lot of extra turns. Right? This buff is not always up on your Whisper. So if your buff is not up on your Whisper at all times, running her at 70% crit rate means that half the time she's not getting a crit. I would build her for normal and just ignore that she self-buffs crit rate. In my opinion. In my opinion. Because this is also only for 2 turns, and that's before attacking. Meaning that she's giving herself crit rate and then attacking, and at the end of her turn, all buffs go down by 1 tick. So then she only has it for 1 more turn. And she's an extra turn champion. And this is on a 4-turn cooldown because you don't have her booked. Whisper is an amazing boss killer. I would focus Whisper. I would book her up. And utilize her. But the way that you're utilizing her right now is not great. Geomancer, great boss killer. Ass on waves. Doesn't do anything for you on the waves. Again, I've got a very similar roster to you. This was 2 minutes and 13 seconds, and you'll notice wave clear, decreased defense, wave control, cleanse. I have 1 boss killer, right? You're running 3. So what I would do is take out, or sorry, you're running these 3, not Armand's. It was these 3. So I would do that. I really wish you had a better speed or a lead champion. Like, I really wish. Obviously, you don't have him. I'm sure you wish the same thing. I wish you had a Deacon. I wish you had somebody of that caliber to be able to get your team going. By the way, remember that this dragon takes increased damage from poisons. So Elinarl would be really good here, potentially. I don't know how well she is built. Only 210 accuracy is probably not high enough for hard. But I would bring Newt. He's a boss killer, but also wave clearer. I feel like your other best wave clear is this guy. And then the problem is that he is going to take turns, and you are going to get debuffed with a lot of poisons. And he doubles down on the amount, double downs? I don't know how to say this. He does bring a lot of poisons. Yeah, we don't have, he doesn't have Bad Alcazar, unfortunately. His roster is extremely limited. You can see we've only got, like, 12 champions to work with, or something, maybe like 16. One guy to not sleep on is actually Hakorn Smashlord. He just got buffed. You have a really big shield. He's an HP-based champion, and he places a really big shield. Well, it's 20% of the damage dealt, so maybe this isn't that big, because I don't know how hard he smacks. But what I love about him here, removes all debuffs from all allies, then places block debuffs per 2 turns. Heals all allies by 15% of this champion's HP. Heals each ally by an extra 10% for each debuff removed. This is what Pythion does. Except better. The heal is better than what Pythion brings. And a 40% chance to stun. Now, obviously, he's only level 50, but don't sleep on this guy. You don't have a cleanser on your account. I don't know how to say your name, but the new promo code for Ninja does not work on existing accounts, but existing accounts get Ninja for free in 5 days. So you'll see right here, this is the Ninja pack. On day 5, I get Ninja. So you don't have a true cleanser other than Doom Priest, who I would recommend putting in Relentless as well. But this is progression that I think is slightly beyond you. Ever so slightly. What I am going to do is try to bring your Arbiter here and see if somehow we can speed this up and get our Mons to keep control of the waves. I would like to bring your Sun Wukong, but I almost think your Rathalos might hit harder. Let's try this team. I'm actually not worried about anybody using any abilities or not using any abilities, so I'm okay with this as it stands, and we'll try it. What's going on, Brandon, in Live Arena? This is going to take a little bit. We'll talk about who to 6-star next in a second. Probably Ninja, if I'm honest with you. Ninja will make... Because Ninja's gonna... By the way, I don't understand if we had our Mons in this... Did you have our Mons only using his stun once? I bet you that's what was going on in the previous attempt that we did, and why we weren't... That or Arbiter made all the difference for the speed issue. You're just too slow, you think? I mean, at a certain point, you're gonna... One thing that I do a lot of Live Arena on here, and unfortunately we only have 2 minutes left, so I won't be able to do it. But one thing about Live Arena is that sometimes you just have to accept the fact that this is a team you're not going to beat. For example, I run a speed team. My Arbiter, this looks like it's going to pass, by the way. My Arbiter is slower than yours. On my free-to-play, my Arbiter is 305 speed. Sorry, Freak, what do you mean? You were having him use the A2 only once because he's not booked? So I want you to see what I did here. And I'm starting to understand that maybe this is just a problem for all the stages that I wasn't picking up on because I just assumed. But they never took a turn. That wave never took a turn the entire fight. Neither of those waves took a turn. Sorry, I'm responding to 3 people. I'm talking to Freak, I'm talking to Brandon, and I'm talking to... who was the other one that was talking about... and Nick. Yeah, I'm talking to Nick, Freak, and Brandon all at once. So it's getting confusing. Okay. Let me go look at your team that you were using. So your concern is that he wouldn't have it available on wave 2. Is what I'm gathering from you. I understand that concern. You don't have the luxury for that. Because the whole point of this is to kill is that you can only do that if you can kill the waves fast enough. So if I go on my team and do Dragon Slayer, of course, whatever, it's fine. And you look at my team setup, Armand's is using it every time. You don't have the luxury. You need that crowd control. It is your only source of preventing your team from dying to the waves. And by doing that, by using Armands to completely crowd control the waves, that allows you to bring in more champions for the main fight. Now, the reason that you died on the boss, you don't have a cleanser. We could use Doom Priest. I don't believe she's going to cleanse enough of the poisons fast enough to make a difference for your team. So he's putting, 8 poisons? Or sorry, 4 poisons on you. And of course he hits hard too. You have no heals, you have no cleanse, you have no leech. You don't have any way of mitigating that. Now what I have, that you don't have, is Mithrala. That's a cleanse, that's a shield, which is a pseudo heal. I also have a heal from Ugo, plus leech from Ugo. I have a way to keep this team alive. I think Dragon 10 is out of your reach, but you have an amazing support champion in Hakorn, whatever. Hakorn Smash Lord. So, I honestly, it's going to sound crazy, would build Hakorn Smash Lord as your next 60 before Ninja. Because this guy is a, when booked, or not even booked, you don't even need to book him, dude. That is a, he has a 3-turn cleanse, no books. No books. That's so good. I feel like I'm doing a Trump impression. But, and block debuffs, meaning he's going to take all those poisons off, and the dragon can't place any more poisons on you. Not just for Dragon, any content right now. You're talking wave content, they can't stun you. They can't freeze you. They can't do anything to you. You put Hakoran Smash Lord combined with Armand's, there is no wave clear content in the game you cannot complete. This guy is so good for your account, and he heals. So the damage that's also coming out, not only are you mitigating the poisons, you're also healing your team up. So I strongly recommend Hakoran Smash Lord for you as your next 60. He is going to carry your account. The stun doesn't matter. The damage on this is negligible, I suspect. We're not building him for that. We are building him purely for a 3-turn cleanse, which is what you want in this game. And you're going to use that everywhere in this game. For me, it's Pythion. So this is my main account. I don't use him. That's a bad example. For me, I guess it was Pythion. I've kind of evolved past Pythion. But I use Pythion. Pythion carried this account. I got him as a fusion when he came out. And he was able to carry me. I now have him built for PvP. So I don't use him anymore. So he's in Stone Skin. But he did that cleanse, he did that heal, and block debuffs. And I was able to do so much content because of him. So I think he is your best option for your next legendary by far. He heals more than Syl, right? He cleanses more than Doom Priest and heals more than Doom Priest. He definitely heals more than Arbiter. Like, he just brings so much more to the table, as well as that cleanse. And we didn't get to watch the actual boss fight. We were just watching the waves. So I'll show you this team since I went and spent the energy on it, so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about, and why that cleanse and shield is so important. And again, you'll see my Armands. He's just going to spam this ability. I turn off the sheep. That's fine, because that will just, they'll get to take a turn, and you don't want that to happen. I'm so upset I didn't get to do Hydra with you guys today. But, Freak, I think we learned a lot about your account, and I'm very happy to do this takeover for you. So, now, of course, mine goes faster because of Sun Wukong. This is all, like, not chicken and the egg, but, you know, building Sun Wukong, faster dungeons, you know, like, and then it starts to get exponential from there because you're going to start farming on hard difficulty. But you'll see that obviously, in my case, I'm able to kill the waves fast enough that I know Armands gets to use that stun on the second wave. But your Armands is so fast, and I know he's not booked, and that's a fear of yours, but your Armands is so fast, it shouldn't be a problem. To completely crowd control those waves. So now you're going to see what a cleanse can do against the dragon. That's the other takeaway here, okay? So all this stuff you have figured out. You have Armands, let him use his stun every wave. Then we get to the boss fight. And even with Newt, I only did, you know, what, a third of 25% of his health is damage there. So, oh, I don't even get to cleanse. I've already cleansed. I should probably tune that a little bit, but you'll see I took a lot less damage too. Obviously my stats are higher than. There's the cleanse, no poison damage, big shield out. He might get his stun off because I don't think Newt's ready to big hit yet. But again, with your team and Hakarn, Smash Lord, that stun doesn't happen. Because you'll block buffs will prevent the stun. Your rebuild for Sun Wukong is a long ways away. I would try to focus on getting Savage gear for him, which means, of course, farming Fire Knight. Building Hakar next will give you that 3-turn cleanser that every account needs. Not wants, they need it. It is a necessity to progress in this game. Masteries too. So overnight last night, I ran masteries for my Ugo. It's just a timing thing. I'm lucky enough to use RSL Helper, and I can run effective resources overnight and just get a bunch of runs in for free. You may not have that luxury, but if you do, I recommend taking advantage of it if you play on PC. That being said, masteries is important on all of your champions. You know, with Mithrala, it was as well. I did go more of a damage build on her. But yeah, I would highly recommend finding that right balance of how to get this stuff done. But that massive amount of energy you have on your account, I would wait until a Fire Knight tournament and put this all in there. And then try and get a Sun Wukong build that uses Savage. You just don't have good Savage right now. I would love to see, like, you have attack percent chests. What you could probably do, I wish this was like 6-star attack percent. What you could probably do is level this up, because you have so, like, if I was to equip this right now, and let's ignore the fact that I lose all of that attack and just focus on the fact that you're still 99% crit rate with this piece. Does that make sense? So right out the gate, you can already afford this. But then you have to use these boots. You don't have any speed boots for Savage gear. So these two pieces have to be worn. So now you're looking at what has the most crit rate of your Savage gear. So this is gaining crit rate, right? But this is losing crit rate. So if we... Do you not have a helm? I feel like you do. But if we try this on and we try this on, you're at 95% crit rate. Your attack is plummeting. I get that. Of course, this isn't leveled. But we need 4% more crit rate. Your helm doesn't have crit rate. That's the problem. It's got crit damage. Yeah. Now, you could get an extra roll here and get lucky. You could get an extra roll here and get lucky. You could get crit rate when this goes to 16. This could get crit rate when it goes to 16. Like, you're in a really tough position here. Let me look at your boots. I wonder if you have speed boots with crit rate equipped and hide set filters, but I want a priority stat crit rate. Okay. So if we go back into the fitting room and we try these on, which, by the way, these are just better. You lose a little crit damage, fine. But we try these on, we're getting a big chunk of extra crit rate, right? So now we change all these settings. and we go back into Savage. So now you have this piece and this one. And we still have that room with the crit rate, right? So now you can try this one on. And we're at 95%. Sure, but what was that chest piece, right? Yeah, so even all that crit rate here doesn't help. It's tough. It's really tough. You can definitely squeeze something out, I think, if you just get a little bit luckier on some rolls here. I may have also used... Let me just double check. The highest crit rate. Oh! Stop doing this. Respectfully, stop putting really good gear on champions that are not 60. You have a Savage set. You've had this the whole time. I didn't know because you had it equipped. There you go. This is your new build. This is your new build. Obviously, you need to level this helmet and get more crit damage out of it. But you have 97% crit rate. If you just get a little bit lucky and get crit rate anywhere else on here, you're golden. I am going to save it as a preset so that you know what it was, and you can now equip this in the future. Because that's your Savage build right there. That's not that much less attack than you're currently working with. A little bit less speed. And obviously only 97% crit rate, but none of these pieces are maxed. Cool? All right. I am going to log off. I got to make lunch for the kids. It's already way late, but I wanted to finish my thoughts. So yeah, you have what it takes to build that Sun Wukong in Savage, and then it's just a matter of min-maxing, right? Get that attack ring. Perhaps you get a banner in the future that has accuracy and gets you more attack than what this one currently gives you, right? Like, it's just min-maxing, and you'll get a better result out of this team, right? So, cool. I hope that helps, Freak. I hope you stuck around for that. Hope you didn't leave already, because that's huge for you. I didn't know we had boots on Fenax this whole time. I know he's 50, but like... That's really good boots that you have on a champion that is not built. Like, he's using an HP chest. He's an attack champion. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you all tomorrow. We'll do Hydra tomorrow right away. I feel bad that we didn't get to do it today. So we'll do Hydra with my new team. See how Razzlebark does. Okay? Bye, guys.